Bonsoir tout le monde. Homework tonight is chapter 8, l'aéroport et l'avion. We'll start with mot 1.
Chapitre 8. L'aéroport et l'avion.
So this is the airport and the plane. We're going to start a unit on travel. À l'aéroport, or l'aéroport means the airport, and l'avion is the plane.
À l'aéroport.
À l'aéroport just means at the airport. We're going to be talking about things we find at the airport.
Le hall de l'aérogare.
Le hall de l'aérogare is simply that big terminal that you walk into. And you walk into the airport and you see all the different counters with all the different airlines. That's le hall de l'aérogare. The terminal. You can write terminal down on your paper.
Le comptoir de la compagnie aérienne.
So a comptoir is a counter. And la compagnie aérienne is an airline company. So when you walk into the terminal and you see all those counters and all the different airline logos saying which counters are which airlines, that's what this is. This is the counter of the airline company. So on your paper, you can write the counter of the airline company.
Un agent.
Right, and this is exactly what it looks like. It's an agent, somebody who works for the airline company. It's actually above le comptoir, un agent.
Maintenant, Justine est dans le hall de l'aéroport.
All right, now, Justine is in the terminal, the airport terminal. Now Justine is in the airport terminal.
Elle fait enregistrer ses bagages.
Okay, so we're using the verb faire here, idiomatically, meaning it doesn't mean to make or to do, with another verb in the infinitive, enregistrer. So faire enregistrer means to register. She is registering her bags. She is registering her bags.
L'agent vérifie son billet.
The agent checks or verifies her ticket. A BA is a ticket. We're going to see that word many times for the rest of the year. The agent checks or verifies her ticket.
Justine choisit une place dans l'avion.
Okay, in this chapter we're going to be learning a new set of regular verbs. They're called IR verbs, and this is one of them. The word choisi means what it looks like. It's cognate. Choisi means to choose. So Justine chooses a place in the airplane. Now a place meaning her seat, but place isn't the word for seat. Justine chooses a place in the airplane, and in French they're very literal. They don't say on the airplane or on the bus or on the train like we do here in the United States. They literally say in the bus, in the train, in the airplane.
Elle demande une place côté couloir.
Demander, you've seen this last year, it's a regular ER verb. She asks for a place, and then côté couloir means next to the aisle. So she asks for an aisle seat. Côté couloir, next to the aisle.
Une passagère.
All right, and this is the feminine form of the word for passenger.
Une valise.
Une valise is a suitcase. Une valise is a suitcase.
Un bagage à main.
Un bagage à main, main means hand in French. This is a handbag or a carry-on. You can write down carry-on. So you have your valise that you check or you enregistre, and then you have your bagage à main, which you carry on the plane.
Les arrivées.
Okay, les arrivées. You know when you go to the airport and you see the big boards and it says arrivals and departures? That's what this is. Les arrivées means the arrivals.
Le numéro du vol.
And this is the number of the flight. Vol is flight. The number of the flight. And we're viewing all of this on the screen.
Un écran.
Un écran is a screen.
L'avion a du retard.
L'avion a du retard. Here we're using avoir. This is the verb avoir to say that the plane is late. There's two ways to say that something is late. One way uses avoir and the other way uses être, which we'll see in a bit. So the plane is late. That's idiomatic because avoir means to have. It doesn't mean to be. But it means that the plane is late.
L'avion n'est pas à l'heure.
This is another way to say it. The plane isn't on time. À l'heure is on time. So the plane is not on time.
Une carte d'embarquement.
This is your boarding pass, you know, the thing you have to hand to the agent before you go through the weird tunnel to get on the plane. This is really stiff. This is an old one. Now they print them out at the airport. They're really soft and thin. But une carte d'embarquement is a boarding pass. Embarquement is the boarding. Boarding the plane.
Un passeport.
This is exactly what it looks like. It's a passport.
Un billet.
And again, un billet, that's your ticket. A ticket. Okay, so une carte d'embarquement, boarding pass. Passeport is your passport, and billet is your ticket.
Passer par le contrôle de sécurité.
These are changing a lot. They look a lot different now. We have different kinds of devices they use here. But this is security. This is when you go through airport security. Passer means to pass. Passer par, to pass through. So to pass through security is what you want to write here. To pass through security.
La porte d'embarquement.
This is the gate. We learned last year that la porte means the door, and it does. When you go to the airport and you look for the number of your gate, it's usually a letter with a number, and that's where you go to sit and wait to board the plane. We call that the gate. Or you could call it the embarkment gate. Again, embarking upon your journey. That's to get on the plane.
Le départ.
Le départ means the departure. And the thing about this word to remember is it is never used as a verb in French. In English, we use it as a verb. We say, when are you departing? Oh, I will depart on the 3rd of February. But we don't do that in French ever. So we don't ever want to use this word as a verb. It is a noun, strictly a noun, the departure.
L'avion part de la porte 32.
Now, when we want to say something leaves, we use this verb. This is a new verb. It's another IR verb, and it means to leave. The plane leaves from gate 32. The plane leaves from gate 32.
La piste.
La piste is a funny word in French. It's one of those words that we use for several things, and here it means the runway. La piste is the runway.
L'avion atterrit.
Atterrir is another IR verb. It means to land. It has the word terre kind of inside of it, which means earth. The plane is landing. L'avion atterrit, the plane is landing.
L'avion décolle.
Décoller is an ER verb, and it means to take off. So this sentence says, the plane takes off. Okay, if you need to, pause the video and go back and fill in something you've missed. Otherwise, you can turn the page, tourner la page dans le paquet, and on va continuer.
Justine aime voyager.
Remember the verb aimer, not to be confused with the noun ami. Justine likes to travel. Voyager means to travel. Justine likes to travel. Here we're using a conjugated verb plus an infinitive verb.
Elle fait un voyage à Montréal.
She's making a trip. See, here it's a noun. Here it's a verb, voyager, to travel. Un voyage is a trip. She's making a trip to Montreal, Montréal.
Avant le voyage, elle fait sa valise.
Before, avant is before, the trip, she packs her suitcase. Okay, faire is being used idiomatically here. You could say she makes her suitcase. But before the trip, she packs her suitcase. These are a little tricky to remember, but we'll talk through them. Maybe we'll get an understanding of them.
Un vol à destination de Paris, c'est un vol qui va à Paris.
So a flight with a destination of Paris is the same as a flight that is going to Paris. So what you want to remember is à destination de means that's where it's going. Okay, so a flight with a destination of Paris is a flight that is going to Paris. You can write these underneath where you have plenty of space there.
Un vol en provenance de Lyon, c'est un vol qui arrive de Lyon.
Right, so this is the opposite situation. En provenance de means that's where it's coming from. It's coming from that province. So a flight coming from the province of Lyon is the same as a flight that is arriving from Lyon.
Un vol intérieur, c'est un vol entre deux villes du même pays, Paris, Lyon.
We call this a domestic flight here in the United States, an interior flight. That means that it's not leaving the country, it's staying domestic. A flight between two cities of the same country. Okay, so an interior flight is the same as a flight between two cities of the same country. And then, conversely, an international flight.
Un vol international, c'est un vol entre deux villes, deux pays différents.
So an international
Paris,
flight,
Rome.
an international flight is a flight between two cities of different countries. Paris and Rome are two cities in two different countries. So that's an international flight. Okay, remember, you can always go back and watch the video as many times as you need to fill in all your vocabulary words. Study them so that you're familiar with them for Monday. And Monday we'll have a short entrance quiz to make sure you did it, and then we'll do our activities together in groups in class. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bon weekend.